What is happening, Magnusites? So, Mr. Esposito has been officially cast in the MCU. Let's see who he's playing. This should be interesting.
What is going on, everybody?
What's going on?
I'm Warren, and it looks like Giancarlo Esposito has officially joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What's really interesting is he revealed this himself outside of Marvel Studios. This wasn't a Marvel reveal, this was a Giancarlo Esposito reveal. So he confirmed he is appearing in the MCU sooner than you expect, but of course he has not confirmed who he is going to play. Of course, we have some ideas on who he might be playing, and the big question is, since he did kind of tease us a little bit with it, the question is he lying? I don't personally think he kind of teased us he is going to play. Of course, we have some not confirmed.
I think he looked better with that haircut, with the slick back.
Who he
the
is
one they show in the
play.
second, that one,
they
look a little bit too mad scientist, don't it? Marty! He's going to be Doc Brown in the remake.
Ideas on who he might be playing, and the big question is, since he did kind of tease us a little bit with it, the question is he lying? I don't personally think he is, because I believe I have a good idea of who he is going to play, but some fans believe he is. Let me explain by going over what happened.
Okay.
During a panel on the Thunder stage at CCXP, Giancarlo Esposito revealed that he will be appearing in a Marvel project, but not in the role that many fans have laid out for him. According to an article from
What did fans lay out for him? I know they ain't talking about Professor X, because he was talking about wanting to play it, but I don't remember no fan frenzy for him to play Professor X. The majority of the fans are against all the race swapping that they've been doing. They want their characters to stay fundamentally the same as they were in the comic books. People want the characters that they fell in love with. They don't want variants or variations. That's what they want. That's all you have to do. Stay pretty much as close as possible to the character in the comic books, and you're good to go. When you do what Marvel's been doing, you get all the profit losses and the flooding exodus of people leaving Disney Plus and the billions lost. It doesn't make sense. Keep the characters who they're supposed to be. Who they're supposed to be. Be. So, if a character that everyone knows is the character is black, keep them black. If they are white, keep them white. If they are any other color in between on the spectrum of colors of human beings that rhyme they play the game, bars! Keep them that color, and you should be good to go. After that, you just need to cast the best actor for the role.
Lighter, who was there at the panel, they state, after being fan cast as Professor X from the earliest whispers of mutants making their way into the MCU, Esposito says he'll play a different role.
Good.
That it's coming sooner rather
than
later.
Reminds me of the whole thing with Mr. Yoon, Stephen Yoon, right? Cast as Sentry, then there were scheduling difficulties. Yeah, I ain't doing it. Because the fans let people know. I bet you that's why. I don't care what they put up, scheduling difficulties. Yeah, y'all know what's happening. So, yeah, it's go ahead. So either lose money some more by putting a guy in a character that you're miscasting him because that's not the character. Or do right by the fans and make money. What do you want?
And better than you can imagine is what he said as well. Now we'll address who I do believe he is going to be playing and when he could show up in the MCU. But first we have to ask the question, is he actually really playing Professor X? And he simply cannot say it, and that's why he says it's not who you think it is. A lot of people really wanted him to play Professor X. He has been fan cast in that role.
I don't know who you're talking about,
for a pretty long time. And also
I don't know
Magneto,
anybody that
he
wanted
has been fan cast for that role. There's a lot of fan art of him as Magneto as well. So could he be lying, and could he be playing Professor X?
I saw that stuff based on the whole, yeah, they made him after Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and which isn't true. I used to think that years ago, but it's not true. And X-Men were never woke. And Stan Lee is on record talking about the principles of X-Men and what people thought versus what he made them to be. And he absolutely proves all the people wrong, saying that they were always woke. What are you talking about? They were always
The answer is yes. Yes to could he be lying? It's definitely a possibility.
Denzel, don't.
I actually think
they come to you for Magneto. Don't take it, brother.
He's not going to be
don't do it.
Professor X. Now, there's other really important questions that we have to ask. Like, is he going to be appearing as a new character who is going to be a part of the main?
You know what I think? Seriously, on a serious note, especially with the Winston or whatever, M'Baku. Go to God! With him coming out talking about he wants to play Bruce Wayne Batman when he could just be Jace Fox. And other people were talking about, oh, yeah, there's Batwing. Yeah, he could play Batwing or Jace Fox. Here's my whole thing. I believe that every single actor in America, at least, knows about the backlash of everything that they've been doing with race swapping, gender swapping, and sexuality swapping all of these characters. I think that every actor that takes a role that directly goes against what the fans want, what the public wants, what will make money, and what will get them in the company hate is either wanting to rock the boat or making a very, very unintelligent decision. They want to either cause problems or they absolutely are not educated on what's going on, and they should be. I know that a lot of actors are very hungry for a part. I told you guys that I told my agent, I said, don't send me anything for any shows or movies that are going to be woke. Don't send me anything. And I ain't got a request to audition for nothing in months. It is what it is. Okay? It was my dream to become a major actor. And I will throw that dream away and flush it down the toilet if I have to. Because I'm not going to star in and play in anything that's against my principles and doing things just to anger people and cause controversy and all this other stuff. I'm not about it. I want to make things that will make the fans happy, that will please the fans and myself. Okay? We've been diverse for a very long time in entertainment. It's so strange that they're pushing it. Some of my favorite characters throughout media have been different colors, different sexualities, different genders. And it's like, now you're like, oh, like it never existed. So now we have to, no, you're lying. You are absolutely lying if you're saying it was never diverse. That's false. It was for a long time. Go back to think about stuff you watched as a child all the way up to now and think about the different characters in there. You had good looking, you had average, and you had not so good looking actors, correct? So you ran that whole thing. You had different sexualities. Some of the best parts were from straight people or from gay people, right? Some of the best parts were women or men, right? Some of the best parts were white, black, Indian, Chinese. You know what I mean? Like everything in between. Latino, Hispanic. Like, what are you talking about? We need diversity. We've always had it. Well, we've had it for decades. Okay? It's like, what are you talking about? There's no diversity. It's been here. So, personally, I think it's all fun and games, experimenting with the human psyche and seeing how we will react to a lot of stuff. Personally, that's what I think. I think it's some type of giant social experiment that's going on, and they're just trying to see how people react to different things being pushed. That, or at least that's part of it. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, let me tell you something. As big as Denzel is, as prominent as he is, if he took that part, I'm like, okay. Now, yeah. And it's like, how much did they pay you? And what are you thinking? Because Brie Larson is reaping the benefits of her decisions. Okay? And several other actors are too. Because people are hating these shows and hating these movies. I would never want to be a part of something like that. And Daisy Ridley, when I read that she had posted a tweet or something saying that she just got a script for the new Ray movie, and I was like, listen, they said they're paying her like $12 million for that movie. Daisy Ridley can take that money, and if she's not stupid, she can live off that for the rest of her life. She'll be set. Even though she took that part again to play a character that the majority of the world does not want her to play again and does not want to see again. She could just take it and disappear. People have been saying, oh, she ain't been getting work and, this and that, and certain roles can destroy your career, and that's true. Yeah, so I remember hearing that the Crocodile Dundee, Paul, what's his name? I forgot, Paul Hogan, right? Paul, he couldn't get work. He was just Crocodile Dundee. He was a lovable, likable character, but for some reason he was typecast and he just couldn't find work after that. So I find that, when it's a good thing, it's crazy. It's so good that you are that character. So it's I'd work with it though. I mean, I'm like that. I'm kind of like that. I've always felt to myself, let me tell you something. If I was ever typecast as a particular character that I really like, I'm fine playing that character. You know what I mean? I play it from my 20s to my 70s. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that though. Now, could there become a point in my life where I'm well, as an actor, I'd like to branch out and try other things. Yes. And if no one would cast me in anything else, then I'd do it independently. There's always a way to do it. And so I could push it on my social media. There's always ways to do it, I know it was a rant, but yeah, I mean...
MCU Multiverse Saga story, or is he going to be appearing as a variant? Because if he is going to be appearing as a variant in the MCU, and he says he's going to be appearing sooner than expected, then that probably means he's going to be in Deadpool and Wolverine. And here's the thing about him appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine, he could literally be playing anybody. Variants do not have to look like other variants.
Looking kind of sultry there.
This is what Loki has told us and what we have experienced already. The three Spider-Men that we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey, Andrew, and Tom, they of course don't look like each other. And to make things even more deep, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man from his universe can produce his own spiderwebs, whereas Tom and Andrew's cannot. So we know that there are big differences sometimes in variants, not just with appearance, but with also abilities. So if he's appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine,
like a villain
he could
right
literally
there.
Be playing anybody. He could be playing a variant of Tony Stark.
Hello,
he could literally be some type of Deadpool variant, and he could even be a variant of a female character. Plus, not to mention, it has just been revealed to us that Deadpool and Wolverine is undergoing reshoots right now.
Look at his mustache. I wonder if they did that to him on purpose. I never really noticed that. You know how the Empire is like the Nazis or whatever. Look at the middle of his mustache. Just take off the sides. Interesting. I think that's done purposely.
But these reshoots, according to insider Daniel RPK, aren't to really change any of the story, but are to simply add more cameos to the movie. So him saying that he is going to appear sooner rather than later does kind of make us think that he could be playing a variant in Deadpool and Wolverine. However, I believe that he could be appearing in the Fantastic Four in the form of Galactus. I certainly think that he does have the demeanor and the voice.
Hell no! Hell no! Hell to the no! No! What? Galactus?
And the face, if they really do want to go all out.
No!
entirely
Absolutely not.
Galactus, which, why not? Put his face in the helmet.
No.
I would actually really love to see a full body Galactus.
No, absolutely not.
Please, just his head. If anything, just don't give us a giant cloud. But here's the thing about him being cast for the role of Galactus. This makes a lot of sense because we just got the full official cast for our Fantastic Four team. Plus, yesterday it was announced that Paul Walter Hauser has been cast for a role in the Fantastic Four film. So they are right now actively casting the other main roles for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they said he's
film.
unknown.
I believe
I don't
Paul
know
Walter
who he's
Hauser is
gonna be.
either going to be playing Mole Man, who is rumored to appear early on in the Fantastic Four film, or Herbie. So who is left? Well, they've already cast their Silver Surfer. Julia Gardner is playing the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four reboot. So really the only person left now is Galactus, which is why I do believe that this could be the role that he was cast for. Now there is one other character that he could be playing still in the Fantastic Four film, if not Galactus. And no, I don't think he's playing Mole Man. But he could be playing Doctor Doom. We have heard from several different insiders at this point that Doctor Doom is going to be making at least a quick cameo.
He has the acting chops of a Doctor Doom. He has the demeanor of a Doctor Doom when he plays villains. However, he is not Doctor Doom. Don't do it, Marvel. Don't do it.
In the Fantastic Four film, which totally makes sense. He is a classic, not only Fantastic Four villain, but Marvel villain in general. Quite possibly the best, biggest Marvel villain there's ever been. Now, he has been fan cast a little bit as Doctor Doom. You can certainly find fan art of him as Doctor Doom, but again, most of the fan casting was for Professor X, who Giancarlo has publicly stated that he does want to play in the MCU, which again is another reason I think that he could simply be leading us on here and he could actually be playing Professor X, but at the heart of it all, he is a big Marvel fan. He's a big sci-fi fan. And I think he really would take any pretty big role in the MCU that Kevin Feige might offer him, as long as it was a big enough role and not really a one and done type of deal. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he would love that if there were no other options, but he is a very talented actor, and I do believe Kevin Feige would want him in the MCU in some way, shape, or form, more than just a quick little cameo, which is why I think him playing Doctor Doom would make a lot of sense, because we would see him sooner rather than later. The Fantastic Four really isn't that far away. It's a little over a year away. In the grand scheme of things, that is sooner rather than later, rather than waiting till 2027, 2028 for Secret Wars. And we know that Doctor Doom is going to go on to play a huge role eventually in the MCU. He could go on to play a big role in Avengers Secret Wars, but we do know that eventually Doom will have a really big role to play after Secret Wars in Phase 7, Phase 8, Phase 9, etc. So I think this would be really cool for him to play Doom, to do a really quick cameo in the Fantastic Four film, and possibly get dragged into the events of Secret Wars, because from what we know, the Fantastic Four film is going to take place in another universe, not our main MCU 616 universe. So it would be incredibly cool if he got dragged into whatever other universe the Fantastic Four get dragged into, whether that be our main universe or a different one, and then he ends up in the events of Secret Wars. After all, Doom is one of the main characters in both Secret War stories. It totally makes sense for them to have Doctor Doom in the MCU's Secret Wars, at least in some capacity. It doesn't have to be such a huge role like he is in the comics, but a tiny role just to have him there. And also, not to mention, in Deadpool and Wolverine, the first teaser trailer that we got at the very end there, we did see that Secret Wars comic next to Deadpool that had Doctor Doom on the front of it. So it does make sense that Doom would appear in the Multiverse Saga at some point in time.
Maybe,
so could it be Giancarlo Esposito? Could he have been cast as Doom? Or could it have been Galactus? Do you have a preference, or do you have your own idea of who he could have been cast as? Personally, I think Galactus would be really great. I think Doctor Doom would also be really great, and I still kind of think he would make a pretty good Magneto. My only thing with the X-Men is, do they want to go much younger than they really have before, or do they want them to be older characters? Either way, I don't think we can go wrong with Giancarlo Esposito in the MCU. He's an incredibly talented actor, and I can't wait to find out who he is officially playing. But
yeah, okay. Well, I would say do not waste his talent and cast him properly. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Get over to the Cosmic Wonder and subscribe. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you. If you enjoyed my reaction and thoughts, hit the like button, subscribe, and share.